Hi, it's Patricia Finney, and as you can see, I've still got the photo-bombing cat. His name is Faltosh, by the way. I'm Patricia Finney. I'm going to be talking about South Cornwall. Now, for those of you who don't live in Cornwall, South Cornwall does not exist. There's North Cornwall and there's West Cornwall. But there is no South Cornwall. And that is completely deliberate because I don't want anybody to be able to say to me, well, excuse my Cornish accent, this is more of a pirate accent than the real thing, but what you done, my lover? What you done? You put me on your butt. Well, I'm going to kill you for that. So I'm a little bit nervous of the vengeance of annoyed Cornish people, and rightly so, because, you know, sometimes one can be quite offensive in a book. This book has a few offensive bits in it, and Cornwall, I try and show South Cornwall as a place that's a sort of cross between, well, the whole place really, the one bit and another. But South Cornwall, I imagined it to be the bit of land between the Lizard and the Scilly Isles. And that was inundated probably sometime around the end of the Ice Age, around 12,000 years ago, more or less. Perhaps it was down to a tsunami, maybe, that came from the Canary Islands, that's possible. Maybe it just got inundated slowly. There's stories about this town which was taken by the sea. The name of the town is Lyonesse. So that was obviously had to be the capital, the county town of South Cornwall. And my geography of South Cornwall isn't as good as it should be, but I know that it's got a lovely place where you can surf on the north coast with fantastic waves coming straight from the Caribbean, a bit like Newquay. And it's also, Lyonesse is one of those very nice county towns with lovely little streets and places where you can buy fudge and pictures and super little restaurants. And it also has a bit of a back end where things aren't quite so nice, because Cornwall is a very, very poor county. It's it used to get 60 million quid a year from the EU because it was so poor, or it is so poor. Of course, Cornwall mostly voted Leave, but the county of South Cornwall has all that. It's got the little sad newsagents and the sort of grubby looking industrial building of the 19th century, back-to-back houses. You've got all those in Cornwall. They are knocking them down and building community centres now, but you know, it's still a very, very poor part of the country. Not in the things that make life worth living, not in beautiful countryside, not in people. It's poor in money. That's what it is. And it's still a very amazing, I mean, the whole of Cornwall is an amazing place, which I recommend you go. I will warn you though, please, you may have heard about the fantastic beaches, and the beach at Hale. My favourite is another little beach. I'm not going to tell you the name, but it's a beautiful, wonderful, wonderful little beach in a cove with little caves. It's fantastic. But you have to know that the weather in Cornwall is a little bit unreliable. In fact, you can rely on the weather to be as random as you can imagine. And occasionally we get the, occasional little storms, big storms, and sometimes hurricanes. So it's an interesting place. And South Cornwall was trying to get all of this, put it all together in a fictional form, so that people would recognise it but not feel that they'd been offended, because it's lovely, is Cornwall. that's South Cornwall. As I said, I'm not clear about the geography yet, but I think apart from Lyonesse, where most of the action of Lucky Woman takes place, there's also the little village of Trineva, which is where the stories of Jack take place. That's what I do. I like to have my characters visit people in other books. I do it with my historical novels, and I'm doing it with this. So there is one character from Jack who is mentioned in Lucky Woman. And if you like, there can be a prize for the first person who finds who it is. Yeah, I'll give a prize. I'm not sure what the prize will be, but the first person who hits my Facebook page with who is the person mentioned in both Jack and in Lucky Woman, I'll give you something. Bye.